To the school that I go to right now, there's this one very professional teacher that I really admire, and he knows a lot of languages, and he teaches me the English language, something that I've been proficient at for most of my life. You see, I was always the exception when it came to learning languages in my family. I knew English pretty much fluently since I was like 8 years old, probably, and that was only because I watched so many YouTube videos from the English side of YouTube. It didn't matter if they spoke about video games, about the latest memes, or something like that. All I needed to do was just listen to them, and soon enough, it would be engraved into my subconscious mind, and I would be able to speak it fluently, like if it was my second mother tongue. And so that gave me a lot of confidence for most of my life, and it even led me to some great achievements that I'm still proud of to this day. And then I went to my middle school, and nothing changed over there, of course. The English teacher that I had for the first two grades of me going there for the first 2 years, if you want to say it like that, she was still proud of me because, of course, I'm still a nice guy. Like, why would I be mean or anything to the people around me? I'm living an abundant lifestyle. I also care about the people that are around me, and I also just enjoy being nice to the people around me. Just like helping them improve their lives in general. Like that's why I have this channel in the first place. And also just because I'm really good at English and yeah, the teacher even acknowledged it most of the time. And then the second year ended and the third year started. And we got a new English teacher. And I really liked him. I really like him still because even though his accent is a little bit all over the place, he still is very wise. And you can literally ask him about any kind of English word, and he can literally answer it anytime for you, no matter how niche down the word it is. Sometimes, well, of course, he has been learning English even before I was born, so no wonder. Even before I even stumbled upon YouTube in 2010, he was probably learning it for like 20 years by that point, and he was teaching it for a long time. So of course, there's nothing to be ashamed of if I get something wrong. He isn't there to yell at me or basically like lower his perception of me or anything. But that took me a long time to realize because yeah, before I started to learn about all these spiritual things like how to improve your frequency to a higher level of enlightenment, for example, like you can see on this map of consciousness, before I started learning any of that, before I started to truly learn how to forgive the people around me, like 2 to 3 months ago, yeah, I was still I still had a hard time getting around people that have hurt me in the past. Like, yeah, sure, I have forgave them and everything, but I couldn't find that inner peace, you know. Of course, I disciplined myself to do it, but of course that bad energy was finally gone from the people that have hurt me in the past. But there was no positive energy. I used that energy for more productive things that would fuel my discipline, which was good. But it wasn't anything truly positive in the short term. And I know that everything that happens in the short term cannot be good in the long term, but there are some exceptions, of course. But still, and yeah, this, how I mentioned, this guy is probably like C2 level when it comes to English. And so whenever we are, for example, reading a text out loud and then we are supposed to translate it into our mother tongue, yeah, it always happens to me that I get no diff. You know how like in when you're comparing like anime fights like two characters and one no diffs the other, basically like there's no difference between them in like strength and stuff like that. Yeah, he sometimes pretty much no diffs me because I'm not able to translate just one word most of the time. Just one. Like for example, we are reading this like huge text and I read like 5 lines. Yeah, if you just stop for like zero point 0.5 seconds, it automatically means in his head that you don't know that word, which is something that I thought until around 2 weeks ago. And it used to really nag me all the time. It used to hurt my ego, you know? And I knew that I was very good at English. And I knew that whenever he said something to me, that it probably even lowered the perception that my other classmates had about me. And I let my ego get in the way. But one day, I was just sitting in there, and I was just meditating, you know? Of course, I was still paying somewhat attention to him, because of course I wanted to still learn some of the English words that we are, not because of the exam, but because I genuinely just wanted to. So I was half listening and half meditating, just to let the time pass by faster. As I was thinking and reflecting about my actions, I was thinking about where was this emotion coming from, and it was coming from this negative feedback loop that constantly influences the 99 the 98% of people, I would say. Because this is how it goes, right? You, for example, try to improve in anything, right? You practice a new skill, and then you get, and then, for example, you get humbled by the master. But what happens with the 98% of people is that they refuse to be humbled. They refuse to say that they were wrong, that they did it wrong. They only think that, oh, if you just gave me like 3 extra seconds, I would have remembered it. I would have done it right. You don't know what you're talking about. Even though the master is completely fine with them, he doesn't lose any respect to them, and he just wants to teach them something. Then that pride turns into comfort, right? Because they try to comfort themselves, they try to comfort their ego and stuff like that. And then that comfort turns into pain, right? We all felt this at one point since you're watching videos like these. Because for example, if you scroll on YouTube for 7 hours straight, then of course all of that comfort will turn into pain. All of those negative thoughts will come back to you saying stuff like, bro, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Go watch some kind of an educational documentary or go learn something. Anything. You know, they will try to influence you. Then you will go from pain to improvement. And then that improvement will be turned into pride once again. You will let your ego get in the way. You will go into comfort once again. You will go into pain. That pain will lead to growth, and this is very dangerous because you're acting from a lower dimensional thinking. The thing that truly made me finally get out of this infinite cycle. And yeah, to some degree, it was a positive cycle since it made me improve, but it didn't make me feel anything positive for the long term. Yeah, sure, I forgave myself, I forgave the teacher, but I just didn't feel anything. And yeah, I know that our man's life, especially on self evolution, it is not meant to be filled with happiness, but happiness comes from fulfillment, and fulfillment is something that we need in the short term in order to get happiness for the long term. Meaning that you must feel fulfilled from that experience. You must go away feeling fulfilled and completely mindful about the mistake that you've just done. And as I was reflecting on this negative feedback loop, I realized just how truly you must do this. I truly analyzed what was driving this ego forward, and it was my classmates and my own ego in the first place. But even though ego is just an illusion of our third dimensional realm, you see, God, He is above all the illusions. He's above all of the dimensions, right? He's the creator of the universe. And when you start to live an abundant lifestyle, so when you just say to yourself, I'm not learning for the sake of my ego, for the sake of trying to for the sake of trying to impress the people around me, but I'm learning just to get knowledge in general, then oh boy, everything will change for you. When you stop caring about others who are just wearing masks, who are just not benefiting you at all, who are not doing anything beneficial for you in the long term, who are just there to judge you, and most of the time they're not even paying attention. They're just on their mobile phone scrolling. So why should you even care about them in the first place? If you just act from this mindset that you aren't there to please anyone's ego, not to please your own, the teachers or your classmates, but you're just there to learn. You're there and fulfilling your God given desire to get all of the knowledge, to get all of the money in the future, to get all of the woman, to get anything that you desire. Because the most important thing in the universe is you. Think about it. Why in the movies do they ask for your soul in exchange for something? It is because the universe. You don't react to the universe. The universe reacts to you. It has been scientifically proven that subatomic particles literally behave differently the moment you start consciously looking at them. I'm not joking, like literally with your eyes right now. So you must surpass the illusion, and you must think in a higher dimension, in a higher frequency of enlightenment. You must stop caring about the egos of others, and you must starting from your own pure growth. You must remember that even though if the teacher still rubs it in your face that you didn't know it, you don't give a fuck. You're a young man on self-evolution. You're a timeless reader right now. You're better than the 98% of people. You're becoming better, stronger, wiser, more intelligent in each and every single desire, whether it would be health, wealth, or relationships. You have nothing to fear. You have a powerful relationship with God. So you have genuinely nothing to fear. You just need to power through. No matter how much humbled you get, that's exactly what you need. Because this is how you should do it. You must improve, you must get humbled, and you must stay disciplined to improve even more. That right there is the positive feedback loop that you need to implement and that you need to discipline yourself to start doing each and every single day. Is that right? I hope so, because it will bring you closer to God and to the most high frequency that is out there. It will truly make you fulfilled, and you will no longer be dependent on the finite sources of love that surround us, meaning the people around us, but you will be dependent of, but you will be dependent on the only source of love that is infinite, which is the most high God, and he is your only God that you should worship. So yeah, when you, for example, worship something other than God, it gets repelled by you, right? But if you try to worship Him, everything will come to you. All of the good grades that you desire, all of the money, all of the woman, all of the success, all of the happy memories that you wish you had, all of the realities that you wish, all of the progress that you want will come to you just like that. And that is the positive feedback loop that you must implement into your life. Okay? If you want to learn about healthy mindsets that will guarantee success in the long term and in the short term by mending your mental health and bring you on the right path, no matter what, no matter the life tests, no matter the goal, then I highly suggest that you should go check out Timeless Readers Mindsets in the description. It is truly something life-changing, and you would be an absolute fool to miss out, especially with the discount that is happening over there right now. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you.